If you ever want to play a really depressing party game, try this. The problem with blank is blank. Try it with anything. The problem with friends is that sometimes you can't trust them. The problem with friends is that they stand up in your wedding and then you don't talk to them for 5 years. The problem with friends is that you make good ones and then your parents move and you have to make friends all over again. Try it with anything and you'll be more depressed than you've ever been in your life. But you won't be the first one, actually. There was a king named Solomon in the Old Testament, and he conducted this grand experiment that was essentially the problem with this game. In fact, at the start of his letter called Ecclesiastes, he says this: meaningless, meaningless, utterly meaningless, everything is meaningless. Aren't you glad you tuned in to today's program? Solomon was basically saying everything, it doesn't last. It has no enduring meaning. The word meaningless in Hebrew is hevel, Hevel, and it literally means a breath. Like tear, and then it's gone so quickly. And Solomon says everything, with all the riches, with all the resources I have, nothing turns out that it would last. So you know the key to not spiraling into that spiritual depression is to realize that meaningless things are meaningless. Or we might better say that temporary things are temporary. If you expect earthly things to be eternal, you are setting yourself up for a deep spiritual depression. But if you realize that God's earthly gifts are meant to be that, just earthly, just temporary, you can enjoy them when they come and not be devastated when they go. Solomon's wisdom is meant to teach us this, that we should only expect God to be eternal, to find our satisfaction in that, and let earthly things be earthly things. If you can remember that, you can play the game without being depressed. In fact, you can go through the game of life with great joy in your heart. I have something really special to share with you. A little book called Gay and God, Loving Everyone God Made and Everything That God Wrote. I'm not sure what you think, know, or believe about homosexuality, but many people inside and outside this church struggle with same-sex attraction. So what does God say? What should Christians do? What should we believe? How should we react? This little book doesn't have all the answers, but many of them, and the passages that'll help give you a great, grace-filled biblical foundation. If you click the link below and give a donation to our ministry, we would love to send you this booklet that you would be prepared to represent Jesus Christ, all of his truth, and all of his love in the world that we live in today. Thank you so much for your support, and God bless.